Hi, how are you doing? So, if you're a coach, hi, how are you? Hi, my name's Ali, and if you're Hi, my name's Ali. If you're an executive, if you're an entrepreneur who wants to start a podcast or who wants to edit their first episode, this video is going to be the video for you. I'm going to be giving you an agency owner's perspective who does podcast production for a living for quite a few clients. And I'll tell you exactly how we do it. At the back end, there's going to be no fancy words or anything. I'm just going to lay out the whole process. And using this process, you can make a really cool intro for your podcast. You can make really good short clips for your podcast. You can edit your podcast properly, and other than that, you will be able to understand how we do it exactly within like 48 hours at max. So the first thing is you have to get the raw files of your podcast. Now, depending upon where you get the raw files from, if it's from like Google Drive, then most people just give you a master audio of your production. So if you were at a studio, they might give you just one file that will have all the audios of the microphones. If they don't have all the audios of the microphone in one file, then they would be separate. So you'll have to sync all of those microphones audios with your angles. So you can do that inside Premiere. So how we do it is we just download all the files, then we put all the files through Adobe Audition one by one, where we adjust the levels of the noise, we reduce the noise, we add some equalizers, we add a voiceover, we do some mastering inside the audio, and because of that, the voiceover sounds deeper, it sounds cleaner, it sounds more intense. And once we do that, after that, the audios are then put inside our software of choice, which is Premiere Pro, and then we sync the audios with the video, and then our podcasts are basically synced. So like each angle is synced, and then we just layer them on top of each other. And then after that, we just simply cut them depending upon who's speaking. We keep that person inside the camera, we cut the other person out. And once this is done, after that, all you have to do is just simply make sure that all the footage is properly color graded. Make sure to adjust the colors, make sure to adjust the angles, make sure everyone's centered. And then after that, what we do is we render the transcription of that particular podcast. So once we have the audio version, then after that we upload it to assembly.ai, and then using assembly we generate an SRT transcription file. Then we submit that SRT transcription file over to ChatGPT, and we give it a prompt that we have. Then like using that prompt, ChatGPT, and by the way, if you want that prompt, just simply comment down below and I'll share the prompt with you as well. So we just simply give it that, and then after that, ChatGPT gives us exactly the portions to like pick from the podcast, exactly the AI voiceover that we need to like insert like in between those clips, so everything is properly connected and there's a proper bridge if any information is missing. And then after that, we simply do it. We simply do it inside the software of choice, and then that body is sent over to the intro video editors. And after that, they do all the sound design, they do all the visual effects, the captioning, the templates, the motion graphics, everything. They put all that in there, and then we get the body, we review it. If there's any problems, we give the editors feedback. And then after that, the intro is linked with the podcast, and then the podcast is rendered. Once that is done, we render the audio version of the whole podcast again, and the audio version is uploaded to. I just had food, so that's why. But then we upload the audio version of the podcast over to Red Circle or Flightcast, depending upon whatever hosting platform you are using to host your podcast and distribute it across all platforms. We upload the audio there. We make sure that everything goes live. We put in the title, description, everything, the mid rolls, if there are any, the sponsors, if there are any. If you don't have a hosting platform, I would recommend that you get one, because it's just gonna make distribution very easy for you. But if that's not the case, then we upload everything manually to Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcast, and then YouTube as well. And then once that's done, we just simply use the YouTube version of the podcast. We give it to opus.pro, and then Opus basically clips out every captioning style depending upon who the whatever the whole format of the podcast is. We adjust the style of the captions, and then we just upload clips in bulk. We make sure we add in good hooks. We make sure we add some context inside those hooks, so that whoever is going to be scrolling, they're going to be watching those reels, they won't know who that person is. So to make them watch it, we have to add some context, like seven-figure entrepreneur, divorce lawyer, or anything like that, but just some context that the masses can relate to. And using that, we just push out on organic, and we do a bunch of stuff. Then you also have the option for clipping, but that usually comes at a cost that most clients aren't comfortable with, because that is at least $10,000 or more. But with clipping, we can do insane stuff as well. So there's huge opportunity, and that is basically how we do what we do. And then using those using that transcription, we simply go to ChatGPT, and we have a trained ChatGPT thread for all of our podcasts, essentially, which basically has a format that we need for a particular guest show's show notes. So we give it that transcript, we ask it to write show notes, we go through them, we make sure all the links are fine, all the timestamps are fine, and then after that, we simply attach everything inside the descriptions, inside the newsletter, and then that is how our podcast is completed. So that's pretty much it. Like, it's not complicated, but hearing it might sound complicated, but we do it every single day. So for us, it's like normal. But yeah, that is how we edit a podcast. And this is a Pakistani agency owner's perspective. And yeah, and then the softwares we use are basically frame.io, we use Slack, we use WhatsApp a lot, and then we use Premiere Pro, After Effects, Adobe Audition. And yeah, we don't use like Adobe Podcast AI because I personally don't like the sound of it. Like through Audition, you can make the audio sound so much better, deeper, and have just more depth, because video, like, it's 60% audio. If your audio isn't good, the video doesn't, like, do any like add, like, would get good attention. It's not going to get good attention if your audio is not good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. If you want to work with us, if you want us to take care of your podcast production, feel free to book a call from the link in the bio, and yeah, just to answer a few questions, and then we're going to be on the call with you, hopefully discussing your podcast strategy and everything. Awesome. Have an amazing day. Goodbye.